All right, good day. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna see if we can get the big mow running. I've got old Smokey pulled up so that we can see the size comparison. Now again, it's the same exact engine, same transmission, other than one has the ampi-torque, the other has the shuttle shift. But you can see there's a big size difference. The big mow and its industrial front is sits much higher and just looks much beefier. The Ottawa bucket compared to the Lowell bucket, there's a big difference there. But yeah, I had to park them next to each other and get a size comparison because it's considerable. So what we're going to do today, and we're by the busy road again, unfortunately. I pressure washed it last night, and I found 4 different shades of paint on this machine. So you can see there are 2 different shades of energy yellow. This lighter one that's almost white now, and this little bit darker one. And you can see the highway orange that's all over this thing. So that's 2. And when I pressure washed the engine, I found prairie gold. So that's 4. Now it makes me wonder why I find prairie gold on the engine and not on the transmission or anywhere else. So I'm a little concerned that maybe this had an engine swap, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. So yeah, I wanted to share that. Another thing that I wanted to share that I didn't in the last video is I got this hydraulic pump all pressure washed and looking much better, so we can actually see that there's a color to it. But the hydraulic pump on the back of this is a 20 gallon a minute versus what you'd find on the back of a 445, which is 6 to 8 gallons a minute. Now with this being an earlier Big Mow 500, the bucket and everything was run off of this. The later Big Mow 500s, the hole in the casting over here where a belt pulley would go on a 445, right there, on the later Big Mow 500s, they had a hydraulic pump that mounted there, and that hydraulic pump is the one that would run the loader. So they also had the camshaft hydraulic pump. The camshaft hydraulic pump would run the power steering. And then some of them had a third hydraulic pump, which was the regular 445 hydraulic pump, and a 3-point. So you'd have 1 hydraulic pump running the 3-point, 1 running the bucket, and 1 up in front running the power steering. Whereas on this one, everything is off of this pump. Okay, so first order of business today is I've got to replace this battery, and these bolts are terribly rusted and they're twisting on me, and so I think the best course of action for me is going to be to cut them off and put new ends on, and then I can put a decent battery on here, and that gives us cranking power, which I already got cranking power to it with jumper cables. I know that it turns over. I put fuel in it, but I think we were at the point where we did not have spark. So I'm going to get that done so that we can start to trace the power and understand where everything goes. I'm going to take the cap off the distributor and clean up the points. That could very well be where my spark issue is, but that's our first 2 steps today. So I'm going to get that battery installed and then I'll bring you back. All right, battery's got new terminals, and we will verify that we have power to the starter. We do. Okay, now I'm gonna go get my testing light and we're gonna start tracing power and find out where we have it at. All right, so first of all, verify my light works. There we go. Okay. Now we have to find a place to ground it to. Everything's so dirty. We're gonna try this and see. Okay. Start switch is up here. Okay, we have power to one side of the start switch. Power to the other side of the start switch. So that's open. Now we're going to come down to the regulator and nothing there. Might have to try to do it from above. Yeah, that'll be a little easier. Okay, I have power to that side. All right. So power to the positive side of the coil. This would be the negative side of the distributor, negative side of the coil. So now what I need is power going into the distributor. So I think what I'm going to do is pop this distributor off and clean up the points, because there should be power in there. All right, we're in the points. I just cleaned them up, and now you can see as I pull them apart, I've got power, so we're good there. I'll put the dust shield back on. I cleaned up the rotary cap. We'll put that back on, put the cap back on, and then we'll see if we have power out to the plugs. Okay, I did verify I have spark. So now we're going to move on to the fuel and make sure that we have fuel. Okay, so I'm not getting any fuel out of the big tank. I'm sure the acetylene or I'm sure the fuel bulb is plugged or something to that effect. And with having the sheet metal in the way, it's really hard to get in there. I'm not going to get it taken out today. So instead, I'm going to do a little stub tank. Fed straight down to the carb, so we know we're going to have gas to the carb. Problem is I don't have a shut off, so once I put it in, I got to use it, especially if that float isn't closing, then it's just going to run right out the bulb. But at least we know we're going to get gas to the carb, and then from there I guess we'll see what's happening with the carb. So now we have electric, we have spark, we're going to have gas. We'll see if this thing will fire. The switch is out, neutral. coolant problems. I know there's no hydraulic fluid, but we'll try it anyway. Alright, I'm going to get the hood closed, get that chain off, and then we'll see if it'll run under its own power. Here. Get the run. Okay, fired right up. I like it. I'm gonna get some hydraulic fluid so we can see if we can get this bucket going. As of right now, I don't see any major leaks that I'm concerned about, so yeah, I'm gonna go get that hydraulic fluid and we'll see if we can get this bucket to move. Okay, so basically $100 worth of hydraulic fluid in, and we will start it and see if we can get the bucket to lift.
uneven a little bit. Right at the top, it's kind of like a little uneven.
Very cool.
Very cool, yes. Run out of gas?
I think so.
Damn.
Let's see.
Probably.
I probably did.
It's not a big, not a big gas can.
Yep, so with this little tank being our new powerhouse, we are already out of gas. But that's okay, because now we know everything operates. We got that pipe out of there. So now the bucket's on the ground, and I like it. I like it.
Bet you do.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. I'm just kind of looking around to see if I can find any leaks in the hydraulic system. When the bucket was all the way up, it would drop, I don't know, maybe 2 inches before it would finally stay. So I don't know if I'm losing pressure in the hydraulics someplace. I don't see anything coming out of the cylinders, but yeah, nevertheless, very cool. No, you get the little one, I get the big one. gonna see which one of these loaders lifts higher, just for fun. Park these things for the weekend. I appreciate everybody that's watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Check out some of the playlists, and we appreciate you. So as always, take your foot off the clutch. Thanks, everybody.